I'm often asked how I get my Arma 3 gameplay to look as good as it does. Arma 3 may be 12 years old, but it still looks incredible, and with a little help, you can make your Arma 3 look like $1,000,000. But first, do you love Milsim? Are you looking for a group of like-minded people to play with, but just don't know where to start? Or maybe you have a group and you're looking to increase your reach and to find the right members to join you. Milsim Units has you covered. Milsim Units is a dedicated platform designed to connect Milsim gamers with units that match their playstyle, interests, and preferred games. The site makes it easy for players to find and join a unit that fits their needs. Users can browse through a ranked list of active Milsim groups for supported games like Hell Let Loose, Arma 3, Android Forger, Squad 44, and many more. The most engaged and active units are featured at the top based on daily voting, making it simple for players to see which groups are thriving. Milsim Units offers subscription tiers designed to elevate a unit's exposure and visibility. These tiers provide exclusive benefits such as the priority placement on the website, dedicated social media promotion, and premium spotlight features that ensure the unit stands out. If all this wasn't enough, they even host a podcast where they engage in in-depth conversations with unit leaders to help flesh out their culture of their units and to talk about all of the awesome times in-game with like-minded people just like you. If this sounds like it's up your alley, check out their link to the site in the description below. Thank you to Milsim Units for sponsoring this video. Now, tip 1 is utilizing the haze option within your graphics settings that was quietly added a couple of years ago. Now, for the longest time, I used Anzac SAS Stevens' reduced haze mod because it would clear out all of that distant haziness that was actually included in the game as part of the realism aspect, come to find out, showcasing the atmospheric look to enhance that realistic look. While I do think this effect has its charm, I honestly prefer my game visuals to be a little bit more clear, which helps the gameplay pop and just look more visually pleasing to me. The beauty of this option is that as long as you have the 3D world option selected in your launch parameters, you can see the changes in real time in the background in the menu, so you can gauge very quickly whether or not you like the change before even getting in the game. But you could also do this in the 3D editor and it works just the same. Now, tip 2 is just push out your view distance and your object view distance a little bit to an appropriate level that your machine can handle. I know what you're thinking. Yes, this will hurt your FPS if it's pushed out too far. You have to push it out and experiment to see what works best for your machine. Find that happy medium that works for your playstyle and run with it. If you play 95% on the ground, then pushing your view distance out to 4,500 means you can see about 4.5 kilometers, which is perfect, and should yield you some smooth gameplay combined with increased fidelity of the game world, so it's not hidden behind that hazy cone of visibility. Again, this is dependent on what your machine can handle, so push these sliders out and experiment. I guarantee you'll enjoy the game more if you can see more of it. Tip 3 is to simply adjust your graphics settings to friggin' what I have. You can see my exact rig in the description, and even though I just upgraded to a new GPU a couple months back, I have not changed any of these settings you see here. This is what I've rolled with for the past 2 to 3 years. Don't be afraid to select high and ultra for many of these options. Arma 3 wants to run at a higher capacity, and with the recent 2.20 performance update that Dedmen and the extremely small Arma 3 dev team just pushed out to the main branch, you should see smoother gameplay with a lot going on. But your FPS increase will vary depending on your machine setup, mixed with all of the other graphical options you choose. So please bear that in mind. But God bless Dedmen and the Arma 3 dev team. Look, I've never kissed a man in my life, but I might kiss these guys for real if I meet them. Because honestly, this performance improvement fucks pretty hard. And I cannot believe they did it. I can't believe they actually did it. Tip 4 is to use reshade. For the longest time, I wasn't using reshade because I thought it would hinder my performance, but that is not at all the case. I downloaded reshade back in like 2022, and I use it primarily for screenshots to enhance that depth of look field. But starting as of last year in October, I've started activating the vibrance function and the curves function while playing to really help my visuals pop a little bit more. I love how gorgeous the game can look, and the impact on gaming performance is non-existent with reshade. At least I've never been able to see a discernible decrease in performance, even with a lot happening in the game. It's truly amazing how Reshade works, to be honest with you, and this program has been around for as long as Arma 3 has. It's kind of wild. Once I activate the two options, I tweak them to make vibrance a little bit more powerful. In the curves option, I actually bring that one down to about halfway from its default setting, and it makes my eyes want to fuck my screen, if I'm being perfectly honest. And finally, tip number 5 is to use a particle effects mod like Blast Core. I personally use Blast Core compiled by Iski because it strikes the best balance of performance while providing some beautiful explosions, fire, and smoke pillar effects. These effects make the battlefield more bombastic and vibrant, and it feels alive. And while there are many effects mods available on the workshop, this one just happens to be my favorite and what I've used for all of my videos. So if you've ever wondered why my explosions and effects look the way they do, it's thanks to this mod right here. But I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to a couple more amazing graphics effects mods by Anzac SAS Steven. But his missile smoke and lighting effect mod literally transforms smoke trails and the missile trail lighting at night. And additionally, his light blue watercolor mod is far and away one of my favorite mods he's ever made. It turns that already beautiful water into the emerald green that is just gorgeous to look at. And I don't think I've loaded up Arma and played without his mods since I found them. Add on to this the reshade effects, and brother, I find it hard to play this game with how often I have a raging erection. I should probably call a doctor, but my wife likes it, so here we are. Well guys, that is it. Those are my top 5 tips I can bestow upon you to make your Arma 3 look as amazing as possible. Again, this is subject to your own machine's capabilities, so your individual mileage will vary, but I do hope that you were able to learn something new and enhance your gameplay for the better. If it did help you out and you did learn something, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you, as always, to my amazing patrons and channel members for their support of me and the channel. We've come a long way, boys, and I can't thank you enough for having my back. And of course, thank you for your time and for watching, and I will see you in the next video.